Welcome back to another 15 Minutes of Fame. I'm excited for today's podcast due to the fact that it is real time, it's right now, and it's a hot idea. This morning, I'm back with Andy Jessen of Bonfire Brewing. We discussed the block party about 2-3 months ago about how it wasn't going to happen in the year of 2020 because of all the things. Cool. There's a long story short wrapped up. All of a sudden, it's July 2020, and the same guy who's going to be throwing Bonfire Block Party in 2021 next year has found a pathway to work with the city and all the officials and the human beings of Eagle County to throw a concert in July 2020. So this is huge because how, right? So let's talk about this. This is how we're going to form this interview today. Who, what, where, when, why, how. It just answers all the questions, and it'll get us to the point of throwing up a live concert in 2020. Dude, I'm excited. How are you doing this morning, brother? I mean, you called me Tuesday morning, maybe moments after you had figured out you were ready to throw a concert, and you're like, dude, you might be like the second person next to my wife who knows about this concert. And I'm thinking, concert? What language are you speaking, sir? So, Andy, just real quick throwdown again. Who are you, and what are you trying to do?
Yep, like you said, Andy of Bonfire Brewing up here in Eagle. And for the past couple months, once we realized that Block Party wasn't going to be a reality this year, given the circumstances, we started trying to figure out a way to bring some sort of music to Eagle because it's sorely missed here. People really wanted us to try to pull something off. And working with Optimum Events, our Block Party partner, town of Eagle County, and probably most importantly, my wife, Amanda, we were able to put together a plan that fits within the current state and county regulations, can be pulled off safely. Obviously, it's a much smaller scale with only 500 people versus 5,000. You know, it's something, and we're looking forward to trying to set a good example so future events might have a chance at doing the same thing.
I really like what you said there, setting a good example, because a guy in your position is going to be under fire on every line until you satisfy each and every one of those lines. And then once you do, you're going to have that little red cape behind you and be like, that guy is a hero. Andy, let's talk about the who first. First off, who is of this concert, from bands to logistics to staging, all the things? Who's helping this concert happen?
Well, you're going to help us make it happen, right?
I'll be on the stage with the microphone, coincidentally.
But Robert Randolph kind of led the charge to put together this all-star group that, you know, is willing to get out there and wants to get out there. And you've got Marcus King coming along with him, Dwayne Betts from the Allman Betts Band. We originally had a couple members of Lettuce, and now just one of those folks is coming. But we also added J.J. Johnson, the drummer from Tedeschi Trucks, great local bands that are opening up on Friday and Saturday, respectively. The Evolution and the Runaway Grooms who have been really gaining a lot of steam up here.
Yeah, they do a great job. Now, just as a first time hearing it right there myself, it sounds like there are parts and pieces of bands coming together. And I'm only just assuming that is happening because of the current world stasis.
You know, what's happened is bands rarely all live in the same place in the country. And so a lot of these folks are relatively close by and connected through one pathway or another. While they couldn't get their full lineups together, they all had kind of a similar goal to get back out there. Every band member is going to have a different level of comfort, but these guys were okay with coming out. A lot of the kind of middlemen and go-betweens have sort of been eliminated now, and everybody's just trying to find a way to make it work. So where before a contract negotiation would take weeks, sometimes months to hammer out details, now often we're working directly with Robert, for example, to just try to get this thing done and put together. And in the span of an hour, making a phone call, we've got this guy in, this guy's out. And so it's very kind of energizing and inspiring to see that. And I think it'll be a special moment to see that much talent on the stage at the same time. I mean, who knows if it ever even happens again in that format. It'll be very unique, and I think something that'd be hard to ever capture again.
So we know the Who. The bands are available. By the way, on Who, if somebody didn't just memorize all that, where could they find the Who is playing at what is known as, what's the name of the concert, by the way?
Funky Times.
Funky times.
Yeah.
Couldn't have said it in more quadruple entendres as possible.
Bonfireblockparty.com is the easiest gateway for all the information. We were talking to the town of Eagle and trying to figure out a safe spot to go where people could spread out. We could have some defined sections and whatnot. They said, well, what about the rodeo arena? We approached Eagle County and they were super supportive and open to the idea. They've been looking for a way to drive tourism safely, and events are part of that. And so working together with their staff, they have a whole team dedicated to putting guidance together for every industry, including events. And so we were happy to be part of that and help develop that guidance and put it into action.
I love it. I've done a million different events in rodeo arenas. Literally, physically, they're some of my favorite places to go because they're already built to do it. So you just have to like pepper in the party and you're done, which is pretty cool.
The venue is built so that there's not a bad seat in the house. So no matter where you are, you can get a good view of the stage. And it'll be interesting with a dirt floor. But it'll be cool, bring your cowboy boots.
Yeah. Okay. So we got the who, we got the what, we got the where. When is it?
It is Friday and Saturday, July 17th and 18th. Obviously short notice with the nature of the pandemic, rules are changing every 30 seconds. So you got to act and operate within a pretty short time frame. So the Fair and Rodeo arena is just off I-70, exit 147. And it's a 30-second ride after that down Chambers Ave, Fairgrounds Road.
Yep, it's right by the new Eagle Water Park, essentially just kind of attached.
Doors are at 4 each day. We have a bit longer kind of lead in for loading folks in just in case, we need to keep people spaced out, give people more time to get there, hang out in their cars if there's a line to get in or whatever. We do have quite a bit of queuing room so people can stay distanced while they're checking in, but 4 o'clock doors open, 5:30 the openers go on, and then 7:30 to 9 is the Funky Times All Stars.
Great. So now we're getting a picture, you could say, and this is a great segue at the moment. We're getting a picture of what we're talking about. And speaking of which, why don't we go to the picture of the site? We're going to do a screen share right now, and we're going to physically show you what this looks like, because just like some of the stores and the restaurants that you have been going to, some of these places are like, hey, you got to come in this door and you got to exit out this door. And we have like a flow, right? So you're practicing these same ideas. Let's go to site right now. Let's check out this map. And Andy, why don't you take us through how your event site is built and how it will function the weekend of July 17 and 18.
When you're coming in on Fairgrounds Road from I-70, there's going to be volunteers, security, checking to see what section you're in. And based on the section, you'll be directed to a specific parking lot. So if you're seated over in this area, there's parking on this east side, and then you'll enter through the east entrance. If you're situated over here, you go over to the west side and come in through here. So we can keep the distinct groups of basically 100 to 125 people fully separated. The idea being that I think the guidance is hoping to minimize an outbreak by limiting it to smaller groups of,
Makes
up to
perfect
175 sense. Is what the county permits. And so you're trying to keep those groups from commingling. So they have separate restroom facilities, separate bars, separate entrances, separate exits.
And just like you said, the capacity is 175 in the large groups, but like you're keeping it under at 125. So not only are you're playing by the rules, but you're padding the safety. So you're like going above and beyond. As I look at your map here, I'm looking on the left-hand side. It looks like a green arrow going in, and then a red arrow would be going out. Is that correct?
Yep. So you got one-way flow, which is at least 6 feet apart at all times, so people can safely get to and from their seating areas. The other thing that we came up with was color-coded sections, and those correspond to color-coded wristbands. So it'd be easy for security and volunteers to keep people in their areas. And we think that's something that'll probably become pretty commonplace going forward.
Cool. I was getting a kick out of this sort of setup in my head. I was thinking of all the Grateful Dead spinners. This is like their most magical setup ever. There's like nobody in their way. They can spin for hours.
Yeah. And that's one of the cool things about this, despite the fact that we all want to be out there with as many friends and family as possible, we just can't. But one of the perks of that is you're going to get to see this massive amount of talent with just a few people standing around you, nobody pushing you around, no mosh pit to worry about or anything. It should be a really comfortable experience.
we've got the how. We see the yellow rectangle up there. That must be the stage. The yellow square in the middle is the sound guy. The blue rectangle is a bar. You notice at the back of the orange and silver sections, there are other 2 bars back there as well. This is really well built. It makes a lot of sense. Take a mental picture of that if you're planning on attending. Again, you're only having 500 people, and it sounds like in the past 2 or 3 days, you're almost sold out. And sold out to physical locals. Like, we don't have people flying in from New York. We don't have people driving out from Eastern Colorado or Western Nevada. You have physical, like, Eagle County residents and Vail County residents that they're like coming to the concert because they had to physically come buy a ticket from you. It wasn't like online and go get what you want, right?
Yeah, that was a goal of ours right from the start is, Eagle County is open for business and is welcoming visitors from wherever, but with it being the first event of its kind here, we wanted to try to keep it as local as possible. Theory being that we've all been around each other for this whole time and are less likely to bring in a new kind of seeded outbreak. The first 36 hours of sales were in person only at the tap room, and we sold about half the tickets in that first 24 hours before we went to online sales. So about 50% at minimum, and probably more realistically, will be Eagle County residents.
Yeah. Okay, great. I think that's a really fantastic start. Okay, we got 4 sections, 125 people. There's enough space for everybody to have more than 6 feet around them per human being. Typically, this venue itself hosts 3,800 people side by side. You're doing about 27% of that number in the property, and you're utilizing the actual fairground itself, not just the seating. Right? So now you're actually using all the property. So that 27% can be sliced in a small, so you're really using like 10% of the property for all of the people, which is going to should make everyone feel comfortable. And especially if we're practicing with the masks and stuff like this, of course, security will enforce the mask.
Yeah, there's mask up zones. Eagle County has as part of their public health order, you're required to wear a mask. The only time you'll be permitted to drop it down is when you're in your own area, socially distanced from other groups. Going to and from the bar, going to the bathrooms, we'll have sanitizer stations throughout, extra hand washing stations. It is what it is.
Treat it like a restaurant. Like you're at the hostess station or coincidentally the concert front gate. Put your mask on. You're around people you don't know. Fantastic. Show some respect. The point is you're respecting the moment. Cool. Then you transfer your body and you're walking to your section. Once you're there, cool. Take your mask off, just like you're at a table in a restaurant. No big deal. We're all getting pretty used to this by now.
Basically, if you want more stuff like this to happen, we got to play by the rules and we got to keep people safe.
It's totally fine. And no matter what you think about it. And if you're going to be like a naysayer and a wah, don't come.
Yeah. It just isn't worth it.
Yeah, I totally agree. Food truck, when you go to the food truck, so you're walking from your section, you're like, oh, cool, I got to go get a fish taco or whatever it is. So you're wearing your mask, you go to the food truck, get up there, make your order, keep your mask on, order your food. Probably just keep that on the entire time until you get back to your section with your food, and then voila, you're eating.
Yep, that's the idea. We got that nice big areas for people to spread out, queue up if necessary. With only 500 people, I highly doubt there's going to be any sort of line issue. You should have plenty of time to eat if you want to.
Great. Yeah, so come hungry. And then drinks, of course, you might know a thing or two about beer. How's that all working? You're working with Optimum, and they're serving your beer. Is that right?
Yeah, we'll have beer, wine, and cocktails. At least 3 bars. We're debating additional ones. It'll be really easy to access. This will be a larger one that the 2 floor sections can get to from either side. And then 2 more right here with 3 options, your booze of choice at each one.
Cool. Can guests bring their own water bottle?
If it's empty, yeah, you can fill it there, or you can bring a factory sealed water bottle.
Okay. So if you brought, I would really hope that you don't show up with single use plastic. Please don't. Just no. I'm slapping your hand now. Bring your Nalgene, bring your, metal containers, whatever. But those with the screw tops, they got to be empty. But if it's got the, a plastic wrap or a seal on top of it, you can bring it in with stuff in it, right? Is that right? Okay, very good. Okay, we've got the who, we know the bands, we know the people. We've got the what. It's called Funky Times All-Star Band, and it's a collective of amazing talents coming to Eagle County next weekend, July 17th and 18th. That's a Friday and Saturday, both days from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Why? Because concert. How? We just told you. Everyone's going to be properly spaced. We're playing by the rules. The fact that this is happening is because of all the lengths we're going to. If somebody's like, you're still going to kill everyone. That's all I got to say to that.
Well, I mean, the reality is there's risk in everything. And all we can do is follow the guidance, the science, and the rules that are out there, just like any other responsible business. And we want live music to survive the pandemic. Not to mention, there's been a lot of talk about the mental health side of this too. People needing an outlet, something to feel good about. And we think this can be part of that.
Yeah, I think it's a great start in the right direction. The fact that you have the county, the city, the governments behind you shows that things are appropriate from that side. Are you going to have any after parties at your bar?
So we've actually been closing earlier. 10 o'clock has been kind of a good cutoff time because we're at limited capacity, and it's easier to keep folks being responsible earlier in the evening versus later. 10 o'clock has proven to be a good cutoff time, and I think we'll probably stick with that and just be satisfied with the good times we had at the show.
Yes, I think that's a safe, proper mechanism for this time. I mean, of course, just like you said, like once we get some liquor in us, we're like, whatever, I'm taking my clothes off, forget the mask, but yeah, so, in a time like this, we go to the concert, we exercise our right to do what we can do, but then it's time to go back home and, hey man, kick up the radio. You can listen to whatever you want. You can even turn on Nickelback and we won't even care because we won't be
nobody
there.
Be there.
Okay. I'll see you in the dirt, Andy. It's time to throw a concert.
All right, man. We'll see you next weekend.
All right, brother. Thank you so much.